This is the world's first commercial biological computer, running on living human cells. The CL1 computer is the brainchild of Melbourne-based Cortical Labs.
This is where the neurons would be embedded in.
CEO and founder Han-Wang Chong says it fuses cell-derived neurons with silicon, creating a new class of AI known as synthetic biological intelligence.
Unlike using artificial neural networks, we grow real biological neurons into networks onto computer chips.
It sounds like science fiction, but Han says the CL1 is capable of learning and adapting faster than standard silicon-based AI, while consuming significantly less energy.
We take blood or skin and we can transform them into stem cells, and from stem cells into brain cells or neurons that we then use them for compute and intelligence.
Han says the neurons grow on silicon chip with tiny electrical contacts connecting them to the digital hardware. And it's equipped with an artificial life support system to keep the cells healthy.
We have pumps like the heart, waste feeding reservoirs, filtration units like the kidneys, and we have a gas mixer to take carbon dioxide, oxygen, and nitrogen.
Han says the CL1 could revolutionize drug testing and personalized medicine.
With this kind of technology, we potentially could grow neurons taken from patients with, say, a dementia or with epilepsy, and test compounds and drugs that would then be personalized and tailored to that patient.
But Han believes the CL1's potential doesn't end there, saying it could usher in a new age of AI.
In the short term is we can use it for life sciences, for personalized medicine, for drug discovery and development. But the longer term vision of the company here is to pioneer a new form of computing, where we can actually use these neurons that can process information with much quicker speed, with much less data, and with much more energy efficiency, so that we can get to intelligence, but without the significant cost associated with it.
Elon Musk's brain chip company Neuralink has joined a groundbreaking clinical trial for visual prosthetics. The trial is being conducted by researchers at the University of California, Santa Barbara, along with research teams in Spain. The goal is the development of a smart bionic eye that will enable blind people to identify faces, navigate the outdoors, and even read. Neuralink stands to benefit from valuable clinical data that its trial is expected to generate. It brings to the table its advanced brain chip technology and experience with brain-computer interfaces. Neuralink has been working on Blind Sight, a brain chip implant that aims to restore vision. Blind Sight has been tested on monkeys and has shown promise. The chip has never been implanted in a human brain. The company's brain implant technology is designed to interface directly with the cerebral cortex. The Blind Sight device utilizes ultra-thin microelectrode arrays implanted directly into the visual cortex, bypassing damaged optic pathways. The visual information is captured by a camera on glasses, processed by AI, and transmitted wirelessly to the brain implant to stimulate neurons and create a sensation of vision. Neuralink hopes to launch Blind Sight by 2030. Neuralink's participation in the trial was disclosed in late July on clinicaltrials.gov, a US government website that publishes information on clinical research. The trial is in its initial stages. Patients are being enrolled by invitation.
While the race for AI captures all of the headlines, there's another one quietly brewing between Silicon Valley executives. The race to create a bioengineered human being, a child. The Wall Street Journal has some extraordinary reporting out that a small company backed by none other than OpenAI chief Sam Altman has spent months pursuing a secret project for a genetically engineered baby. They're working toward creating a child born from an embryo edited to prevent a hereditary disease. Editing genes in embryos in order to create babies is banned in the United States of America, so the company, called Preventive, has been searching for places to experiment where embryo editing is allowed, including the United Arab Emirates. For more, I want to bring in one of the reporters on this extraordinary piece, Catherine Long. She's with the Wall Street Journal, and Ron and Sana back with us. Walk us through this reporting. Who's involved? What do we need to know?
Sam Altman's family office and Coinbase co-founder Brian Armstrong are backing this company, Preventive, which, as you mentioned, is conducting preclinical research to attempt to create a baby from a genetically engineered embryo to prevent a hereditary disease. Behind the scenes, the company has told people that a couple had already been identified who was interested in participating in the research.
Okay, you also report on a plan that is meant to, quote, shock the world into acceptance on this. What can you tell us?
Brian Armstrong, the Coinbase co-founder, floated a plan to produce this baby in secret. A spokesperson for Armstrong.
Okay, that's like a horror movie.
I will say a spokesperson for Armstrong told us that he floated that plan only in order to point out what a bad idea it was, and he would never suggest that Preventive operate in that way.
Okay, so they're saying it's to prevent hereditary diseases, but where's the line? How far before you get to make sure the legs are long, the boobs are big, the eyes are blue, and they're super smart?
Well, another suite of startups that we reported on are doing something slightly different than embryo editing. It's called polygenic screening. And some of those companies are already moving in that direction. They say that they can give parents who are pursuing IVF insight into their potential child's IQ, height, eye color, and a host of other traits so that parents can choose which embryos to implant based on that information.
What's the plan if it doesn't work?
If the information is wrong?
If the information is wrong, if this genetically modified embryo, if a baby is born and something goes wildly wrong?
I think that's yet to be seen. These companies, the embryo editing company Preventive, for one, it's far away, it says, from trying to bring a baby to term with this technology.
So this is coming from the Silicon Valley universe that's known for the phrase, move fast and break things. Okay, you said Sam Altman, you said the Coinbase guy. Is the whole industry all in on this? Because right now they are the AI team are surrounding President Trump. And what do they love? Being in a completely unregulated environment. And this, to me, seems like it should be highly regulated. Again, it's currently banned.
As you mentioned, it's currently banned in the U.S. Not every country bans embryo editing for the purposes of reproduction. And again, as you mentioned, Preventive is searching for places outside of the U.S. to conduct this research, including the UAE. Scientists in the space, many of them think that this technology is not ready for prime time. Some issued a call for a moratorium early this year.
Now, to strengthen AI, you also need a plan for robots. That's the message from leaders in the robotics industry, and the White House appears to be listening. A headline from Politico reads, quote, after the AI push, the Trump administration is now looking to robots. So joining us live now is Yasmin Khorram, the author of that article and an economic policy reporter for Politico. Yasmin, great to be with you.
Thanks for having me.
All right, tell us more about the Trump administration now leaning into robotics.
Right. So sources tell me that Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick has been meeting with robotics CEOs and is all in on supercharging the industry. There's even talks about a robotics executive order sometime next year. Secretary Lutnick has been really open about this. He believes that automation and robotics is the key to bringing manufacturing back to the United States. The executives I've been speaking to from Apptronik, Boston Dynamics, Tesla have been lobbying for Washington to have this national robotics strategy. They say it makes sense. We've rolled out this AI plan, and robots are the physical embodiment of AI. It's the hardware side. So they want trade policies, tax incentives, help with supply chains. I spoke to the CEO of Apptronik, Jeff Cardenas. Apptronik is a Austin-based startup backed by Google that has valued at $5 billion. Here's what Jeff told me.
I'm very hopeful that we'll see more and more interest coming from Washington. I do believe that robotics is the key to the future. If you think about what is an economy, economy is productivity per person. If you change the number of productive units, you can fundamentally change an economy. So this is literally economic and society transforming technology. And it's really important that we get it right and that we do have a national strategy that gets in front of this and helps us shape it so that it is for the benefit of society as a whole.
So Apollo, which is Apptronik's humanoid robot, is general purpose. It's 5'8", 160 pounds. It can lift about 55 pounds. It's currently working with Mercedes-Benz in some of their auto factories. Cardenas tells me that this goes beyond industrial policy. His ultimate dream is for Apollo to one day provide elder care for millions of Americans, including his own parents.
So I want to lean in, though, back to the economic impacts of all this. And how does this square with the Trump administration's push to revive manufacturing here in the U.S.?
That's a great question. It's unresolved. Obviously, there's so much talk and fear around AI replacing all of us.
Sure.
Every earnings quarter, we hear from tech companies saying we're wiping thousands of jobs because AI agents can do the jobs cheaper and faster. It's a real fear. Some economists, AI skeptics say that if we automate too aggressively, that we risk losing massive amounts of jobs. Other industry experts have been pointing me to this very interesting study from A3. Take a look at this graph. It shows that every time historically that robot sales have gone up, unemployment has gone down historically. And every time robot sales have dipped, unemployment has gone up. Really interesting. The executives I've been speaking to say this is not about robots replacing us. They envision this world where we will work alongside robots. Cardenas told me that he views this as Apple's early moment in computing. It's not man versus machine, it's man and machine. That'll take us into the future, and it's really important we get there before China.
There were similar fears during the Industrial Revolution that all these new machines were going to take jobs, and really those jobs just changed, but there were still more of them.
Exactly.
Hey out there, this is Buzz with the Survival Buzz. Hope everybody's doing good out there. It's getting cold out here, but I just feel the need to go outside, man. I've been cooped up. The wind's been super cold, but it's time to go outside and start making videos regardless of the weather. I hope you guys are paying attention, man. I hope you guys are taking breaks from all your social media, your TikToks, your ChatGPT, your gaming, and really paying attention and focusing on what's going on out there, man. And even though some of these videos are in mainstream media, they're highly overlooked and nobody's paying attention. Everybody's busy choosing a side, left or right, you know, Democrat, Republican. It's all a big dog and pony show, man. That's all it is. You know, this AI, there's no end to it. Robotics, Neuralink, all this stuff is progressing, whether you like it, whether I like it. It's happening, man. We've sat on our hands for too long and allowed all this stuff to go on, and it's going to continue regardless at this point. Prophecy is being fulfilled. It's time to choose a side. You're either on God's side or you're not. You know, with this Neuralink crap, I can almost guarantee you within the next few years, in a very short period of time, cell phones are going to become obsolete. I mean, imagine now you have public schools, kids making fun of other kids because they don't have the latest and greatest iPhone or Android phone or whatever it is. Pretty soon that stuff's not even going to be in their hands anymore. It's going to be neural networks. People are going to have the ability to have superpowers, so they want you to think. Really, all it comes down to is another method of control. They get everybody hooked up. They get everybody, you know, having super abilities, and then next thing you know, they're controlling every aspect of your life. What you think, what you buy, everything. And it's already happening with algorithms and things, but imagine when all this stuff is hooked up through your neural networks. And like I said, this stuff is advancing regardless. You've seen the video, you know, the Trump administration talking about robot executive orders in the future. This is what they're pushing. And this humanoid robot called Apollo. Who's Apollo? He's an ancient Greek and Roman religious deity, the son of Zeus. And this is the crap they're pushing. There's no end to this. And like I said, there's no sitting on the fence with this. There is no fence. You're either God's people or you're not. And you're going to have to be willing to lay it all on the line. Let it all go. Your house, your car, your friends and loved ones that don't want to go along. Everybody that does not believe in God and the Bible, are going to go along to get along, because you're going to be locked out of the system. Just like in China right now, all the homeless people and stuff, soon to be here in the U.S. and across the world, if you decide to go against their plan. So it's time that you make a stand. This stuff's only going to progress more and more day in, day out, and get worse and worse. So you either are on the side with God or you're not. Plain and simple. The Bible talks about prophecy very clearly. Pick up your instruction manual, read it a little bit, and start praying to God to have some knowledge and wisdom with all of this, some discernment of His Word, so you know what to expect. Look in Matthew 24. That'll tell you about the end of the world, because I can guarantee you, different programs, Project Bluebeam, whatever it may end up being, this stuff changes daily. They're going to try to fool you into taking all this stuff. They're going to try to fool you into believing that there's an AI Jesus or a Jesus coming to you in the sky. You should know what to look for. It's in your instruction manual. The time to sit on your hands is over. The time to be of one of God's people and not be cast away is now. We don't know what tomorrow holds, but we can look around with all the signs and know what's coming. I don't have a day or an hour, and nobody does. All the more reason for you to make that line in the sand now and decide who you're with, God or the devil. God bless y'all. I'll catch you on the flip side. Later.